Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everyone had a great trading day today. Just a huge amount of opportunities today. The markets were jumping all over the place today, and man, oh man, oh man. Really great day of trading today. Glad to see the markets and kind of everything waking back up a little bit. Before we're jumping in, as always, swinging over to slingshotfutures.com, scroll down, and go over to the newsletter registration. From here, you're going to be able to register for our email newsletter list. Inside that email, that's where we talk about a bunch of stuff that we just don't have time to talk about in the live stream. And that's going to be everything from stocks, options, crypto, futures, you name it. If it's moving, it'll show up in that newsletter at some point. So make sure to sign up for that so you don't miss anything important going forward. Of course, if you want to check us out for a couple days, you can sign up for a free 3-day trial in the room. You can hang out with us for a couple days, see how we approach the markets, see how we trade, see how we analyze the markets, and ask some questions, have some fun, get your feet a little bit wet, and see what we're all about. So it's a great way to do that. Make sure to do that if you haven't done so already. Now, taking a look at the news for today. The news for today, we've got a lot of, well, nothing. There's actually no news for tomorrow. There's nothing really going on. Oop, hang on a second. There we go. There's no news going on for tomorrow outside of the Canadian news. That's it. So tomorrow we have Canadian news, the core CPI month over month for June. The previous is negative 0.1%. Also have Canada at 8:30. We have the core retail sales for May forecasted at 0.7%. That's it. There's no other news. There's not anything big going on for the U.S. There's nothing really happening going on for tomorrow. It always makes me a little bit nervous when I see a situation like that because it's, you know, it makes me think, well, it's summer. There's no news. There's not really much going on. Might be an early in, early out kind of day where everyone packs it up a little bit early and calls it quits, heads down to the beach, and starts the weekend off. Now, a couple caveats to that. We do have a lot of earnings and everything. It is earnings season after all. But tomorrow, in terms of the earnings for tomorrow, we have General Electric coming out. They're estimating 18 cents. We have Cleveland Cliffs estimating 56 cents. Honeywell is estimating $2.01. Schlumberger coming out with an estimate of 43 cents. There's a lot of earnings coming out for tomorrow, and some pretty big names inside of there. We do also have earnings later today after the markets close, starting off with Microsoft. Little bit of a name there that we want to keep an eye on, with earnings estimated at $1.07. We also have Skechers, if you're a shoe head. Well, I don't know if Skechers really have that big of a following. It's not like Jordans or anything, but Skechers coming out with an estimate of 40 cents. We have E-Trade Financial Group estimating 89 cents. And just a lot of names coming out after the market closed today as well. So if you are an earnings trader or if you are a stock trader and one of your favorite markets is up on this, you might want to keep an eye on things because it can get a little bit crazy. We do have some IPOs scheduled for tomorrow. Actually, I think it's just one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just one IPO for tomorrow. It's a $123 million offering from Replimune. REPL is the symbol. We'll just go with that because I don't know how to pronounce that. But we do have one IPO for tomorrow. Had a bunch of IPOs for today. Really only a handful of them are actually worth anything, but REPL is the IPO for tomorrow. So let's take a look at the charts here. Start off on the euro as per the usual. So the euro did grind down, but it didn't quite make it down to that major level of support. I wanted to see that push down a little bit further. You can see it just nicked it. It came real close and then popped right back up again. So unfortunately, we didn't get down to the zone that I wanted to see. You know, I was looking for that 16,140 area, maybe a little bit lower to see if they kind of wanted to play ball there, but it ended up holding just a little bit too far up for my taste. So it came really close, but just missed it. And I mean, it did do exactly what we wanted it to do, unfortunately, just without me along for the ride. Had a nice bounce back up, continuing higher, and buyers do seem like they want to at least make an attempt to try to push the market up. The big thing that stands out here for the euro, of course, is that we are range bound and buyers are buying lows. This is what we've been talking about for a long time. They're going to be fading this low, they're going to be fading this low, they're going to be fading the next swing low, and pretty much every other swing along the way, including swing highs when it gets back up there, probably going to be faders there and there, etc. So with this range-bound scenario that we find ourselves in with the euro, I have to assume that this really strong move up, although it is a really nice-looking move up, there's probably not much that's going to keep it going to the upside. Similar to what we had right here with this really strong bear move down, there wasn't a whole lot of follow-through because nobody really believed it. The breakout attempt on that is going to be very low probability, and we see the buyers come back in and disallow those sellers from continuing. So I have to assume the same thing's going to happen here. We have a really strong bull move up. It will probably go a little bit further in a really nice area. It would be a trap above that into 17,190. Get a little bit more continuation on the bull side, get some buyers suckered in, and then see it roll back over after a swing high trap. So that's going to be the zone that I'm looking at for tomorrow's trading. Now, a couple things do stand out along with this. If we go in and we insert a little square here, we do have this previous swing low down to the swing high. So this zone is going to be the area of interest that I'm looking for going into tomorrow's trading to find as a level of resistance. Watch the buyers come in, give them a little bit more follow through, and then shove it right down their throat as the market drops back down again with the anticipation that the breakout's just not going to stick. If it does end up sticking and it does actually break out, chances are we can use it as support not too far afterward. So that would be the next follow-up play. But going into tomorrow's trading, I'm looking for the buyers to continue up just a little bit more, get some more buyers in, and then look for some selling pressure inside of this zone between 17,340 down to 17, let's say 140. 17,140 up to 17,290. That'll be the zone. Otherwise, looking pretty good there. Looking over on gold. Gold is in a continuation of the downside. We did have a respect off of that level, right? We were talking about that yesterday on how when we create that zone, we push down underneath it, it breaks back above. If the buyers do stick and they keep going, that'll be a level of support. In this case, they did not stick and they did not keep going, and it ended up rolling back over and dropping back down to a new low. Beautiful technical play off of that move lower and looking for more continuation. Now, the one caveat to this is if we draw this up as a channel, it's pretty obvious to see we've gone a little bit too far too fast. I don't like seeing bear channels that break out lower. That's a sign of exhaustion and that the market may need a correction before it can continue down. And usually what that means, we're looking for a correction up to the top of the channel, but not just the top of the channel, an overcorrection above the top of the channel, looking for the market to want to equalize that blow off on the bottom as well as the highs. So on gold, even though this is a bear market and everything is really looking pretty nice for a bear move continuation, I have to be a little bit guarded on the sell side, just with the assumption that they have gone exhaustion phase down. They're probably going to want to see a corrective phase back up again, and that means that although I can look for shorting opportunities going into tonight and tomorrow, they're not shorting opportunities that I'm looking to hang on for eternity. Probably more so going to be scalps, with scalps potentially to the long side as well as the market begins to correct back up again. Over on crude oil definitely looking pretty choppy. We're not getting a whole lot going on here. We had this major level of resistance that did hold up pretty nicely for the better part of the day. Rolled back over, tried breaking down, but it failed. And where did it come back to? Yeah, it came back to the inside swing low and low closes. These areas become huge levels of support. A lot of sellers trying to get the breakdown continuation to go. They put in support, support, failed breakout, failed breakout, failed breakout, failed breakout, failed breakout. You get the idea pretty quickly here. This zone, after a new low has been made and traps, the market is likely going to be looking for what? A move down, a bounce, and continuation up, and that is exactly what happened. Beautiful bounce off of that inside swing for a move back up, and now we are showing signs of more range bound. This most recent 4-hour bar is not proving anything. It had a big spike up and then kind of collapsed back down on itself. It closed nice and strong bull, but notice that it was not able to close above that swing high, and that's a big clue. The buyers did have enough momentum to really slam the market higher, but then they gave it all back towards the end of that candle, and it closed below that swing, and that shows a huge amount of weakness. Buyers were not able to stick that landing, and that's a little bit of a cause for concern. So this area is going to be a level of interest at swing high, because now we failed the close, and we're starting to turn down. What I would like to see is an attempted close up, and then immediately close right back down on the very next candle. That's the sell sign for the market to roll back over and try to re-attempt these lows once again, if the sellers are going to take over. If they do not take over and it breaks firmly above these highs, well, that's where the story changes a little bit, and we can utilize this as a support bounce a little bit later. It'll be pretty obvious if that does happen, but for right now, that's what I'm looking for. Initially is a failure move, trying to close above, and that's the important part, closing above that level, and then failing and immediately closing back below that level. That's going to be the sign that sellers are attempting to take back over again. We are still technically in a bear trend working its way lower. Attempted breakout to the highs really didn't prove a whole lot and starting to roll back down. And of course, we still have the open objective of the AB equals CD move here to here, which is down at 65, we'll just say 65.70. So looking for the sellers to, well, first of all, I want to see the buyers close above, fail, close back down, and look for the sellers to take back over again. And then we've got the S&P. Now the S&P was okay today. We had a good amount of movement right at the open. It went flying higher after a pre-market bear trend for the entire night. Went flying higher and then collapsed all the way back down. Tried to pop back up, failed, went back down again. So we're probably going to end up as a doji today. We're opening up here. Currently, price is sitting right there. Not really that big of a candle on the daily chart. So for the most part, you know, we're still maintaining the bull trend. Everything is still looking okay, but it certainly is getting me a little bit concerned to the upside. The buyers just are running out of steam. The buyers aren't showing up to the party, and when they do, they give it up really fast. And that tells me that the initial move, the big breakout move, is done. Now all we have left are the scalpers that are trying to pick up the residual movement afterward, and those moves tend to not be very big. What does that mean? Well, that probably means that the S&P is going to begin transitioning into a range. This high that we have up here at around 28.15, 16 is probably going to be the top of a range, or at least close to it. This could be the range as small as this. It could even be a little bit wider. We have to wait and see until we get more info. But the way that the market is moving right now really alludes to the fact that we're probably going to begin transitioning into a range and not get a whole lot done. So that's going to be my approach. I'm going to be looking to fade ranges going into tomorrow's trading. Look to buy the low, look to sell the high, and look to stay out of the middle, because that is the danger zone. Aside from that, though, the market's overall not bad. Pretty good day of movement, and overall I certainly cannot complain with how we actually had movement. First of all, that's just a complete difference to what we had yesterday. So seeing a quick little snap higher here on the euro and gold as well. They are lifting very aggressively on the 5-minute chart. Nice bullishness to the upside here. We'll have to wait and see if they can kind of stick that landing, but a very nice rally going on at the moment on the euro and gold. Aside from that, though, that's going to do it for the future side of things. So feel free to type in any markets you want me to take a look at. We'll analyze those for you, and then we'll wrap it up. Really, really happy with how today worked out. Beautiful day of trading. Beautiful day of opportunity. eBay. Oh, man, eBay. What a move today. This morning we were talking about buying some 35 puts right at the open when it spiked up towards 35.65, and picked them up like 20 cents, anywhere from 20 to 30 cents. And by the time it dug down to the lows over here at 34.13, they were worth about 99 cents. So just a beautiful move down on eBay, getting just dumped on this morning. Aside from that, though, I mean, just opportunity all over the place today. Really love days like this. So again, I'll give everyone a little bit of time to type in any questions you may have, any markets you want me to take a look at. We'll analyze them, and then we'll wrap it up. Now, we are going into the weekend, of course. So with the weekend and no news tomorrow, kind of anticipating tomorrow to be an early day, my guess would be, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. Not seeing any markets getting typed in, not a problem at all. Usually cover most of them that we want to see. So that will do it for today. As always, if there are any markets that you want me to take a look at, make sure to type them down in the comment section. Type in the market itself, type in the time frame that you want me to take a look at, and I'll look at it on the next live YouTube analysis. You can always shoot me an email as well, and we can do it from there. But aside from that, underneath the video, make sure to click on subscribe, click the notification bell icon, so that way you'll know every time one of these videos goes out or goes live, so that we don't miss them while they're happening. You can ask questions, and we can just kind of hang out for a good 20 minutes or so, and then rock and roll. So again, tomorrow is the last day of the week. We are going into the weekend. No news for tomorrow. A boatload of earnings going into tonight and tomorrow morning. We've got one IPO for tomorrow. Probably going to be an early in, early out kind of day. And that's not necessarily a bad thing after a week of pretty sparse movement with some spikes here and there. As always, it doesn't matter what market you're trading. Like we always say, always make a plan, trade the plan, follow those rules. It'd be A-okay. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, jbrink@slingshotfutures.com. And yeah, that'll do it. So enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the weekend. I hope you have a phenomenal day of trading tomorrow. Hope you had a great day of trading today. Have a great weekend. Rest up. Make sure to spend some time away from the markets. I know it's hard. We're addicted. Can't help it. But you know, untap for a little while. Spend some time with the family. Enjoy. And we'll see you all back on Monday, all right? Have a good one, and we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.